Multitasking right here, so y'all bear with me. All right, I'm gonna give a little bit of time for everyone to kind of file in. I'm going live on both YouTube and Facebook right now, so I'm going to see how that goes. It's been a while since I've done it. I haven't done it on this computer, so we'll see how that goes. Stephen Hawkins, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Turn this light down a little bit. Oof, not that way, this way. But hope everyone's having a great week so far. We are, let's see, moving along. Let's see if y'all can see me on the Facebook side. If y'all could let me know, that would be really good. I'm really not sure if it's working right. Okay, that better. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a little bit for everyone to kind of file in. But not sure. So I'm gonna try to really do these lives more consistently, and I think Tuesday night's gonna kind of be the night that I do these. So let's see. I'm really not sure. Hey, Dave, is the Facebook side working? Can you see if that's working for me, Dave? Because I can't really tell. Okay, I see one viewer now. Okay, I think it is working. But yeah, come on in, everyone. I hope everyone's having a great day. Like I said, I'm gonna try and start doing these a little bit more often. And okay, awesome. So I'm gonna try to start doing these a little more often, and we're just gonna kind of touch base on how the crappie bite's been in DFW. What's going on, Ty? What's going on, man? Hey. We are. Let's see. We're just gonna kind of talk about how the crappie bite's been, and it's been pretty good. I've been mostly out at Ray Roberts lately. Kind of been all over the place at some point or another, but I been mostly at Ray Roberts. I'm gonna probably stay at Ray Roberts for a while. Grapevine is fishing terribly. I don't know why. It's just not gonna. It seems like it's not gonna get right this year, and so I'm gonna be wherever they're biting the best. Greg Martinez, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. And so that's where I'm gonna be at. Got a trip there, a few trips there at the end of the week. But out there, it's been brush piles, timber. The bridge, I actually scanned the bridge a couple days ago, and I didn't see a single fish on it. Not to say you can't catch any. I only looked at a few pillars, and I just kept going, but it definitely seemed like it wasn't doing any good. Ty, I ain't even fished since I went out to Levon with you. Oh man, that's too long. That's been what, 2 weeks ago now? 2, 3? I don't even know. It flies by so fast. But so brush piles in that 20, that I'd say 17 to 25, 27 foot range have been best. And you know, it varies day to day, obviously. But what's going on, television pilot? Thanks for being here. I'm gonna try to make these more of a regular thing, man. Try to get back to the old every week thing. But yeah, the brush piles out there, the court piles are holding fish. The non-core piles are holding fish too, and the timber's holding fish. So I kind of fish a little bit differently than a lot do. I don't want to fish. I don't want to fish single trees and have people wait and take turns trying to drop on a fish. To me, that's just not fun and not what I'm trying to do. So I want to try to set someone over, a big tree or maybe a bunch of a bunch of brush or something where everyone can fish at the same time and have just as much of a chance to catch fish. And so that's kind of what I've been doing, especially on Ray Roberts. I've been sitting over some of the big brush piles. There's a lot of big core piles and there's a lot of big non-core piles, and they have both been holding fish pretty good. Keepers, as usual for Ray Roberts on those deep brush piles. There's a lot of short fish, but there are good fish in there. You just got to weed through the little ones, and that's just part of the game for out there right now. Anthony and Stacy McDonald, what's water temp and depth? Water temp for me was about 82 degrees last time I was out there last week. The depth has been at 17 to 25, 27 foot for me. There's definitely some fish shallower than that. There's probably some fish deeper than that, but I like to just focus on that 20 to 27 foot range if I had to guess. A lot of the brush that I'm fishing comes way up off the bottom, and so those fish are suspending really heavily, like 10 to 15 foot. And it'd be a really good way to slip cork if you could catch the wind right. It's kind of the problem, but if you could catch the wind right, you could definitely slip cork over top of these brush piles. Those fish are just positioned just right to where that would really be productive. But outside of that, I went down to Benbrook, and there's still fish out there, but the fish are just not in a good mood. Just have to work too hard for me, and I just don't want to beg fish into biting. So I'd rather go to Ray Roberts and weed through a bunch of little ones than go to Benbrook and try to force feed every single fish. Lavon's been pretty good still too. I haven't been out there in a while, but that lake, it's pretty consistent. I know it's still fishing good. I just have not been back out there in a while, and a lot of that is it's just too far for me. It's just far. J.R. Lambert, thanks for tuning in, man. When's the best time of year to use minnows? For me, the best time of year to use minnows is that I'd say June 1st all the way up until about September. Right now, you don't really need minnows. You can catch fish on jigs for sure. I usually just use minnows on trips just because it's a little easier. It's a little more straight to the point, and the minnows are a little bit more forgiving. That fish will hold on to that bait a little bit longer than a jig, and give my clients a little bit more of a time to set the hook on them. But yeah, I'm gonna be at Ray Roberts, like I said. If y'all are interested, definitely get with me. I have a lot of availability coming up. If you're interested in a trip, going up to Ray Roberts, catch a lot of fish this time of year. And honestly, the size on those piles should get a little bit bigger as it cools off. It really hasn't cooled off a lot. It's cooled off a little bit today, but we get some consistently cool weather, it'll definitely help things a lot. And as well, I still have lake breakdowns for out there. Ray Roberts, Lavon, Texoma, Cedar Creek, Joe Pool still have breakdowns. Louisville as well. So I have breakdowns for all those lakes. If you're interested, just shoot me an email. As well, I'm really trying to grow the Facebook side. So if y'all can, if you know anyone who watches me maybe on YouTube, if you could suggest my channel to them, maybe they'll hop over and give me a follow or check out my Facebook. I'm really trying to grow that. That's another source of income for me. And so luckily I've been having a lot of growth with that, and I'm super, super happy with that. Clay Neely on Facebook. Joe Pool was 80 degrees this morning, caught 21 on brush piles in 3 hours. 11 were 12 to 13 inch. They were suspended about 15 down. Yep, that's pretty much what I'm seeing too up on Ray Roberts as well. Television Pilot says he's smoking some chicken. There you go. You bet, Jesse. Thanks for tuning in, man. JR, Louisville just doesn't seem to produce anything, man. JR, I've been Louisville's been on that downward trend for a while, and it seems like it's really bad right now. I honestly don't plan on guiding out there anymore for crappie. It's just too bad. I have to work so hard to catch the fish I do when I can go to another lake and not have to stress about it. And it'll be a lot more better for everyone, but I don't know why the lake is so bad right now. It just is. And I've noticed it. There's a few creeks that in the winter used to hold fish pretty good, and there's no fish in them anymore. And it was at that point that I kind of started thinking that something's off, and sure enough, I'm seeing it on the main lake too. Like, yes, you can definitely, I can definitely see fish and catch fish on Louisville, but it's a lot tougher for sure. What's going on, Robert? Thanks for tuning in, man. If I had to guess what was wrong with Louisville, one, the development around the lake. Two, just the amount of hybrids they've stocked in there recently. Those two things, I mean, because, Grapevine, for example, doesn't have hybrids. It's not as in the city as Louisville is, and its fish is a lot better. This year it's not, but this year is just an odd year. The lake was almost 20 foot high, and so I think it just threw things off so much. It's just not right. What's going on, Fredo? Hope all is well, man. Just sitting here in the truck babysitting. There you go, man. I know the feeling. Hope everything's good. I hope Vicky's doing good as well, man. Let's see, but yeah. So I like I said, I am definitely noticing these fish are moving, you guys. These fish know the days are getting shorter. These fish know things are changing. The water's 80 degrees, which I know there was a few times. What's going on, Jay? Yeah, Television Pilot. Louisville's been weird for a while. I definitely have noticed that these fish are moving, and the reason I know that is like certain brush piles, especially on Ray Roberts, certain brush piles typically don't hold a lot of fish, but there's a specific time frame in the fall where a lot of the brush piles start holding a lot of fish, and that's kind of where we're at. And typically for me, like when I start seeing that, it's kind of, for me, it's at the tail end of that post spawn good summer bite all year. And then Grapevine, for example, I think the reason it's not going to fish good this year is because I think the thermocline has not had a chance to set in, and so those fish are just roaming. They're just, I can't chase roaming fish on trips. My boat's just not set up for it, and I honestly don't want to do that on trips. And so, like, roaming fish and fish that are not on cover, I really don't care about because I'm not going to guide for them. And so I kind of throw that out of my mind, and so I'm kind of leaving Grapevine alone. I'm going to try to run trips other places the best I can. I can catch fish on Grapevine, but it's not definitely good. Yeah, if y'all could share this live and like it, I'm sure would help grow. Would appreciate it. And like I said, we're really trying to grow the Facebook side. Oh, Television Pilot, I'm sure it's gonna be good, man. I'm sure it's gonna be good. Fredo, she left me. She's in the store and left me alone with the little bad boogers. Robert Smith, how's Joe Pool? Man, Joe Pool's, I have not been out there in a while, but I know Joe Pool fishes pretty good this time of year, Robert. That the same depth range, that 15 to, Joe Pool fishes a tad shallower than Ray Roberts, so 15 to 25 foot range would be pretty good. Brush piles, timber, bridges, I'm sure holding some fish out there. I have not been out there. The reason I haven't been out there lately too is because there was a sewage spill out there not that long ago. So I don't know. I just don't want to run trips over there. I think the fish are fine, but I don't want to chance anything like that with clients. But David Jackson, how's Benbrook fishing? Still need minnows? Man, I was out there last week, and it was tough. I caught fish, don't get me wrong, but I had to work for them. The lake's getting so low that it's just hard to maneuver. You're just bumping off the stumps every, 20 foot, it seems like, in certain places. And I just, when those stumps start getting to the surface and you start having to maneuver the boat around them, it just makes it tough, especially with two people. And so I've just decided not to kind of, go on with that. I caught good fish. You can catch good fish out at Benbrook, but I'm not that committed to going out there. I'd rather go to somewhere else where I can get vertical on them, and they're a little bit better biting. But with that being said, the quality at Benbrook's been pretty good. Lavon, I'd say Lavon and Benbrook have had the best quality this year for me, for sure. Minnows, yeah, David, I didn't even say that second part, but yeah, you can definitely use minnows and it would definitely help, but it, minnows would help, but I caught all my fish on jigs last week, and it seems like even with the minnows, they're just not in a good mood. Now, granted, it was a full moon that day, and sometimes that can make a difference, but in general, I feel like you can definitely get away with jigs. Anthony and Stacy, can you tell where the thermocline is right now? If I had to guess right now, I would say there's not a thermocline. I feel like I might have seen one on Ray Roberts, maybe a little bit on what day was that? Friday? On Friday. And I think it was about 20, 22 foot, which is pretty typical. Usually it's in that 20, 25 foot range. I wasn't sure 100% if I saw it, but I kind of felt like I saw a little bit of a thermocline. And it's definitely it's definitely not like all over the lake for sure. I think if I had to guess, I think that first cool front that we had where it cooled it off pretty good. I feel like it partially turned over. Parts of the lakes did turn over, but it wasn't a complete turnover. And then it got hot again, and so I think it's kind of re-stratified. So I think we're kind of it's trying to, but it's not fully turning over. And once it does fully turn over, then things will start progressing normally. Billy, what about Benbrook? Yeah, I've been there. It's fishing okay. You can catch fish, but it's not as good as some of the other lakes. The lake's getting so low too; it's getting really hard to fish, in my opinion. Domingo, what's going on, man? Hope all's well. Hope all's well, man. Jesse caught 8 keepers today, and about 59-inch Ray Roberts with minnows almost on the bottom. Yep. That's pretty typical, Jesse, out there right now, man. I was out there Saturday with a trip, and man, we went through 6 dozen minnows. I don't know. If I had to guess, my guys probably caught 80 fish, and I think I cleaned 23 for them, and I cleaned 2 catfish and a sand bass. But it's one of those things. Like with me, I was really, the wind limited us for one, so I was only able to fish certain piles, and certain piles. There's certain piles out there at Ray Roberts that tend to hold better fish, those core piles and not core piles, and I wasn't able to fish a lot of those, so we just kind of had to make do with what we had. But man, there is a ton of fish on brush piles on Ray Roberts right now. If you what's going on, Christian? Thanks for being here, man. If you find a good brush pile in 20 foot of water right now on Ray Roberts, it's gonna have 100 fish on it for sure. And I really think, from what I saw the last couple of days, Friday I was just looking for the trip on Saturday, so I didn't fish really hard. But if I had to guess, you really had to kind of get down past those little fish to get the better fish. Like I saw better fish in those piles, but getting a bait to them is a whole different story. But yeah, but it'll get better. The size will get better. Like I said, I was pretty limited on Saturday, so I'm hoping this week I'll be able to kind of move around a little bit more, check a few different places, check a few places that typically hold better fish for me. And like I said, I fish a little bit different. As time goes on, I fish a certain way, and that's just how I like to fish. That's how I like to guide. And so that's kind of why I'm sticking to these brush piles. Yes, you can definitely go probably fish some timber and catch a few better fish. But if I've got two people up front, I'm not gonna have them take turns and sit in the back of the boat. So I'm just would rather sit over a brush pile and let everyone wear them out, and then we'll just have to weed through to get the keepers, and we'll get keepers. I mean, we had several good fish. I mean, I think we had a few 13-inch fish on Saturday. Um, Good mix of mostly white crappie, but a good mix of black crappie. Yep, that's right, Domingo. The brush piles are good out there. Ray Roberts, you just got to weed through the small ones to get a few keepers. Yep, and it's it's funny because grapevine is the same way. I think this year there was just a massive spawn, and I think last year too. And so there's a ton of really little fish everywhere. And I think pan fishing. Thanks for being here. I think next year and the year after that we're going to have a really good classes of fish. But right now those fish are too little. They just haven't had enough time yet. Grapevine is just covered. Every piece of cover you can find in a good depth at Grapevine has hundreds of little bitty black crappie like this. And they're so small they can't get their, like if you use a minnow, normal size minnow, inch and a half or whatever, then they can't get that minnow in their mouth. And it's crazy. Like they'll just try to get it, but they just can't get it. But yeah, so if y'all are interested in supporting, y'all know me, I'm not on here to beg or anything like that, but if you're interested in supporting the channel, there's super chats on the YouTube. I'm not sure what options are on Facebook for that, but the super chats on YouTube. You can also donate as well. I have different ways to donate as well on that, Cash App, Zelle, things like that. All that goes into the channel, and it sure would be appreciated. Like I said, I have lake breakdowns for all these lakes as well. It's another way to support me. There are private videos, me just going over productive areas in the lake, and I also include some GPS coordinates to natural locations on these lakes too. And I sure would appreciate it. And then also, if you're interested in a trip, like I said, October next month, pretty booked up this month. I really don't have a lot. I have a lot of things I have to do this month, outside of fishing, and so I have not had I haven't had a super free schedule on that. But next month I think will be a lot more open, and I think the weather's gonna kind of get cooler. I think it'll be a lot better next. My phone's going off. We got lightning strike, severe thunderstorm warning in Oklahoma City. We're supposed to get some storms tonight, so we'll see how that goes. We need rain, you guys. We need rain, and we need rain for the creek season. So I let it rain. I don't care how much it rains. Just let it rain. Billy, thanks for the information about Benbrook, Joe Pool. I've heard crappie was biting real good on Lake Whitney down by the dam. Anywhere it's wood, yeah. I have never fished Whitney, the lake itself. I fished the Brazos above it, but I've never fished the actual lake, Billy. Camo Joe, what's going on, man? Y'all be sure to check out Camo Joe. Check out his jigs. Oh no, man. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, that sounds painful. Hopefully it's getting better, man. That's no joke. Kent, thanks for dropping in, man. Hey, brother, tuning in from Nashville, man. You've been doing some crappie snatching here lately. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Yeah, I've been trying my best to stay on them for sure. But it's been good, but man, it's changing for sure. I'm sure y'all are seeing the same thing up that way. But we're just trucking along and just trying to do the best we can for sure. But so like I said, those are the ways to support the channel. It's a good time to support those guys that support me, those companies that support me. Kent and B&M. This is reversed. How am I going to do this? Let's see if I can do it. Kent and B&M, all the B&M guys are super supportive of me. I use their rods on every trip, all the time, the creeks, every which way, dock shooting, a bunch of different ways. So if y'all can support them, sure would appreciate it. Shut Up and Fish, David Goodson as well, really helps me out. and as well flop box, Camo custom hand ties as well. You gotta be sure to check him out. And Power Queen, you guys. I could not do this without the support of these companies. So sure would mean a lot to me if y'all would go support them back. Kent, I grew up fishing Levon, seeing your nice fish from your recent trips. Thanks, man. Yeah, the quality, that's the one thing I will say is at Levon, the quality has been outstanding. Some days, it's funny, some days it's like overnight, there's some short fish kind of come in, and they'll kind of, take over a little bit, but you can still catch keepers. You just got to weed through the little ones a little bit more. And by little, I mean they're like 9.5. That's one thing too with Ray Roberts is a lot of the fish are just like you got to measure every single fish. It seems like there's not a lot of like some you can definitely tell aren't close, but a lot of them you have to measure. And at Levon, it's either a good fish or it's not for the most part. But I mean Levon, we've had several probably that were pushing pound and a half, maybe pound and 3/4. And it's been good out there. It's just so far from me. That's really the only downfall for out there. But I love Levon fish is so easy. If I lived closer, I would got out there a lot more. Carl Rachel, I like Lake Fork, huge crappie. Oh yeah. Lots of people like Lake Fork. I do too. I mean, I've been out there a few times. I don't get out there quite as much, just with the distance. But Palestine, I love Palestine. Palestine, Cedar Creek. If you had to ask me my favorite lakes, man, Palestine's up there. I like Palestine. The couple times I've been there, I've caught good fish, and I really like the layout. It's kind of got something for everyone. Whether you like dock shooting, whether you like bridge fishing, whether you like brush piles, timber, it's got a little bit of everything for you. It's got a lot of black crappie in it. It's got some big white crappie in it too. And it just kind of, pick your poison type thing, whatever you want to do. And I really like that about that lake. Who knows, maybe I'll get back out there this spring. But I'm trying to think if I've forgotten anything. I don't think I've forgotten anything. Sorry, I'm trying to keep track of two feeds here, so it's a little tricky. But anyone has any questions or anything like that? I don't plan on being on here super long. Like I said, I'm gonna really try to stick to this and be more consistent with these. And especially as we get closer to creek season, I feel like it's gonna be a little more. I'll have a little bit more to talk about every week when those creeks get good. And but right now, I'm still in the boat. Honestly, this time of year, I kind of get tired of being in the boat. Don't get me wrong, I love boat fishing, but there's something about when I can leave that boat at home, grab my bucket, put some corks in there. I got some stand slip corks that I'm really looking forward to using this winter. I just never got around to. By the time I got them, it was just kind of out of the cork fishing season for me, and so I haven't got to really use them. But a couple times I did, I really liked them, and I can't wait to get put those to the test this winter, this fall. We are not far, you guys. We are getting closer and closer to that creek season, and I really, really am hopeful this is going to be a good year. Last year was pretty tough, honestly, and I really hope that this year is a lot better. Hey Emma, Kent, you know anything about Lake Holbrook in East Texas? My brother retired and moved down there. I've heard about it. I want to say I have a friend who went over there and fished Holbrook, Kent. I don't remember if he said he caught a lot or what. I cannot remember, but I think he went over there in the winter or maybe in the early spring. I can't remember, but man, if I had the time, man, with my boys, my hands are pretty tied right now. But if I had the time, I would be all over the place. I want to go. There's some lakes down in kind of central Texas that have some good fish and that are kind of lesser known that I want to get down to. They're so far that they're kind of a stay overnight type thing, and I really really hope that I can do that. Some of those fish that I've been posting on Facebook, they're coming from down that way, and there's just giant fish. I mean, 2.5, almost 3 pound fish, and black crappie too. It's pretty rare to find black crappie that big around here, and so I'm really hoping to be able to kind of do a little bit more of that as my boys get a little bit bigger. But yeah, I'd love to go down to Holbrook. Quitman is another one that I want to get to. What else is out that way? Look at the Pines. I've never been to Pines. I've never been to. I want to go to Wright Patman. I want to go to all those lakes. I want to fish everywhere, but right now it's just a little tough. But we'll get there. The more we grow the Facebook, the more we grow the YouTube, the more justifiable it'll be. I'll be able to kind of I'll be able to make up some of that money, and that's a lot of it too. Is I have to kind of think business strategy. I can't have $200 or $300 in a video and I only get back $100. So I kind of got to be smart about that too. But we'll get there. That's one thing I've always said. As long as I see growth, then I'm happy with that. So make sure I'm not forgetting nothing on this side. For sure, Carl. For sure, man. But yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna be on here super long. My wife's taking care of the boys, and so I don't want to be on here too long. Small water charter, Okeechobee, Florida, passing through. Thanks so much for being here, man. I'd love to get out to Florida too. I love catching black crappie, so that's right up my alley for sure. But y'all, if y'all enjoy this going live on both, definitely let me know. I'll try to do this more often. I'm hoping to get to a point to where I'm going live on both with different content. So especially as we get right now we're kind of on the tail end of the really heavy guiding time of year for me. Usually it's from about May 1st, even into April at times. That late April, early May, all the way through about October. Usually, once about November gets here, it starts kind of getting tricky. But usually, that all summer, that fall, early fall, it's pretty good. And so, I'm kind of this last month is going to be pretty much guiding. But I'm going to slowly kind of transition as we get closer to November. I'm going to slowly kind of transition more to the content side. I've got some plans this winter for some different things to offer, guide trips that are, maybe out east, and I'll be able to kind of get costs down for y'all on that and be able to offer that a couple times a month, hopefully, to kind of also kind of help with some extra income. So that's kind of the plan. DJ Pizza, thanks for being here. Hey kid, when it's getting close to time for the shad to go up in the creeks. Yes, it is, DJ. Yes, it's getting closer. It's not quite there yet, but we're definitely moving that way. Carl, have you fished Bodark? I have not fished Bodark, but that's another one that if I had the time, I would be up there. I'd be up there tomorrow if I had the time. I'm hearing good things about it. It's fishing pretty well, and it's got a bright future for sure. Television pilot. Hate to hear that. Yeah, Camo Joe, man, that's tough. Back pain is not. That's okay. There we go. There we go. Thanks, man, Clint, for jumping in. Yeah, that I couldn't remember how you did on that lake. Yeah, I remember you going. I just couldn't remember how you did. There you go, television pilot. Soon, man. I can't wait to get up there myself. Yeah, man, there's so much. That's one thing I love about this sport is man, the possibilities are endless. There's different ways to fish. Like I fish differently than a lot. I don't fish tournaments. I'm not into that stuff. I like numbers. I like to guide. I like to creek fish, bank fish, dock shoot, things like that. And you know, there's so many lakes, there's so many different environments that you can go out to, and you know, black crappie and white crappie act totally different, and things like that. But it's just the possibilities are endless. You never finish learning. You never learn everything. And Domingo, I'm going to Florida soon to catch some crappie. There you go, man. And that's one thing I really like about this sport. But anyway, y'all, I want to go ahead and kind of wrap things up. I hear my son screaming in the background, so I know my wife's over there trying to hang on for dear life. So I'm gonna jump off over here. But again, thanks so much for jumping in here for a little bit with me. I'm gonna try to make these more of a weekly thing. Tuesday nights are gonna be when I'm gonna do them, just because there's no football, and Mondays just aren't really good for me, honestly. Anyway, so we'll kind of do that. But really can't thank y'all enough for stopping in just for a little bit. And thanks Domingo. You take care too, man. We'll see you out there. If you see me, you can come say hey, man. I'll be out there this weekend. But yeah, thanks so much, everyone. Thanks for all support on the Facebook side as well. We're really growing that side, and thanks so much on the YouTube side as well, as always. And thanks, Billy. You bet, man. Thanks for dropping in. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and kind of wrap things up. If you're interested, you bet, television pilot. If you're interested in lake breakdown, guide trip, anything like that, reach out to me. Shoot me an email. I have all that information linked in almost every post, so or a message, anything like that, and get you on the water, get you set up with a breakdown, and we're just gonna get through October, and I'm ready to do some bank fishing. So soon enough. Anyway, y'all take it easy. We'll catch you the next one. See you on the water.